Welcome to Sports Sunday. I'm Brooke Grimsley. It was Hall of Fame weekend for the Cardinals, celebrating new members of the Red Jacket Club. But the Redbirds also spent the weekend honoring two Cardinals and baseball Hall of Famers that passed away last year, Lou Brock and Bob Gibson. Friday was all about the base burglar, and today they honored Gibby. Legends, icons, and all-time greats. There's so many ways to describe the impact that Lou Brock and Bob Gibson had on baseball and the world. The two longtime teammates and friends both passed away last year, and since fans weren't allowed in the stands, the Cardinals made sure to celebrate them this weekend with a crown back at Busch Stadium. Gibby's retired number 45 was stenciled on the mound, a place that he was feared by opposing batters. The other day, I was able to speak to Jack Flaherty, who formed a special bond with Gibson before he had passed away. Flaherty told me that he still holds on to Gibson's advice.
I was just really lucky enough to be able to have a relationship with him and, be able to have conversations with him, pick up the phone, call him, have him text me before Game 5 of the NLDS against the Braves. Just be able to have stuff like that from a legend was special to me, and it's something I'll always cherish. He was very open and very honest, and with any question I ever had to ask him, so I just appreciate being able to have that relationship.
And if you could share, is there any advice that he gave you that just still sticks with you to this day?
Just being true to yourself and trusting yourself and going out there and being confident. Not having to change anything, but just being more of myself as a pitcher, not trying to be anybody else, and trusting that as the game goes on, that I think I'm the best option out there no matter what. And that was just the way that he went about it. That was his mentality. No matter what happened in the game, no matter what went on, he always thought he was the best option.
Well, on Friday, the Cardinals honored Sweet Lou Brock with his retired number 20 on the mound and behind second base, a perfect spot for the base burglar. In a story that you'll only see here on News 4, I was able to speak to Lou Brock Jr. about his father's life and legacy.
Cardinals are a first-class organization, and for them to honor my father in this manner, I just thinking that my father would be so pleased, and I'm looking forward to it.
It was almost a year ago, September 6th, that the world and Cardinal Nation lost one of its brightest souls. While Lou Brock is gone, he's forever enshrined in the Baseball and Cardinals Hall of Fame. It was at a young age that Lou Brock Jr. realized
I have to tell you a story that actually showed me the impact that he had around the world.
That his dad wasn't just his hero, but others as well.
In Tokyo, if you hear the English language, you naturally go up there and introduce yourself and talk. And there were some people from the Netherlands that were speaking English. And so when we exchanged where everybody was from, and St. Louis, Missouri came up, they said, "Oh, Anheuser-Busch and Lou Brock." I mean, that's what they knew about St. Louis. And that gave me a whole new perspective on the impact that my father had on the world.
Lou Brock Jr. can't come to Busch Stadium without seeing a friend of his dad's. A few steps behind the base burglar is a statue of Bob Gibson, who died not long after Brock last year. The two were not just longtime teammates.
I mean, they were thick as thieves, but you had the base burglar, right?
They were also longtime friends. Brock's fame for stealing bases grew game by game, and Gibson, known as Gibby and Hoot, gained fame for his prowess on the mound.
Here's the pitch, and it's a strike called! A no-hitter for Gibson!
Those are times that I don't know will ever be duplicated. Having a Lou Brock and a Bob Gibson, and being coached by a Red Shandies. Cardinal Nation is so fortunate to have not only the good players, but the good human beings.
Nearly a year after losing his hero,
emotionally, my father and granddad left a hole in our lives.
Lou Brock Jr. relishes on this moment in Cardinals history under the lights at Busch Stadium.
The great Lou Brock. We remember him tonight at Busch Stadium.
And as the Cardinals' story and history continues to grow and new legends are made, Lou Brock Jr. wants all Redbird fans near and far to remember this.
St. Louis has been such a great place. In fact, one of the things I want to do is I want to just thank St. Louis for the relationship that they had with my father during his lifetime. And believe me, St. Louis, my father loved you as much as you loved him, and I want to thank everybody in St. Louis for the relationship that you had with my father.
Two very special guys. Well, as I mentioned earlier, it was the Cardinals Hall of Fame weekend before Saturday's game over at Ballpark Village. They added 4 new members to their Red Jacket Club with the 2021 Cardinals Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This year's inductees are first baseman Keith Hernandez, second baseman Tommy Hurt, pitcher John Tudor, and first baseman and outfielder Bill White. White was the only one not able to attend. Even after the ceremony, the new additions still can believe that they will forever be enshrined in Cardinals history.
The Cardinals are right up there with all teams in all sports as far as the storied history that they have. So for me to be even a small part of that is really incomprehensible almost to me, based on where I came from and the background that I had, and I'm just glad that it happened, and it's really kind of overwhelming.
For me, it's just a great honor. I mean, I'm not looking for anything out of it. I'm not looking for anything special for being a Red Jacket, but it's a great honor, and it's certainly something I don't take lightly.
Very big day. Like I said, I grew up a Cardinal fan as a kid. I got to play here in St. Louis for almost 9 years. World Championship, be a part of Cardinal history, all the great tradition, all the great players that have played here, and to be in that group is just, it's a cherry on top.
Well, next on Sports Sunday, a very fitting flashback for this week. We take a look back at a record-breaking week for Cardinals great Lou Brock. That's next after the break.